Number 11. The disappearance of ELISA Lam. One of the most mysterious occurrences on a horror movie set was the disappearance of ELISA Lam while filming the horror movie Dark Water in 2013. Lam was a 21-year-old student from Canada who had gone missing while staying at the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles. Her disappearance sparked a massive search effort, and her body was eventually found in one of the hotel's water tanks. The strange thing about her disappearance was that it happened while the crew was filming Dark Water, a horror movie about a mother and daughter who move into a haunted apartment building. The eerie coincidence has left many people wondering if there was a supernatural element to her disappearance. Number 10. The death of Brandon Lee. Another terrifying event that took place on the set of a horror movie took place in 1993 when actor Brandon Lee was murdered during the production of The Crow. During one of the sequences, Lee, who was playing the leading part in the film, was shot with a gun that had been loaded with blanks before the scenario began. Unfortunately, the gun had a genuine bullet stuck in the barrel, and when it was fired, the bullet hit Lee in the belly and instantly killed him. Even though it was determined that his death was due to an accident, it is still considered to be one of the most terrible accidents that has ever taken place on a set of a horror movie. Another murder incident occurred on the set of Psycho 1960. People were terrified by Psycho when it was released in 1960, but an occurrence on the set of the film was even more terrifying than anything in the final cut. On-set murder occurred during production, with Myra Jones, Janet Leigh's uncredited body double, being the victim. Kenneth Dean Hunt, a handyman on the set, confessed to the murder and said to the authorities he did it to impress Alfred Hitchcock, a filmmaker he idolized. After the needless murder, Alfred Hitchcock assembled the cast and crew around him and declared, "It appears we now have all the motivation we need to complete this film." Number 9. The Curse of the Poltergeist. The Poltergeist film series is not only one of the most profitable horror film franchises of all time, but it is also one of the most haunted. Several members of the cast and crew of the first movie, which was shot in 1982, claim to have witnessed unexplainable happenings, including lights flickering and items moving on their own while they were working on the production. After the movie was released, a number of the performers who were engaged in the film passed away under inexplicable circumstances, prompting many people to conclude that there was some sort of supernatural element involved in their deaths. Number 8. The Haunting of the Conjuring. In addition to being one of the most financially successful horror films of all time, The Conjuring is also considered to be one of the most haunted. During the time that the movie was being shot, a number of the cast members and crew members claimed to have witnessed unexplainable happenings, such as lights flickering and things moving on their own without being touched. After the movie was released, a number of the actors who were part of the film stated that they had experienced nightmares about the movie's protagonists and that they were being followed by an invisible presence. Number 7. The Curse of the Exorcist. The Exorcist is not just one of the most well-known and influential horror films of all time, but it is also considered to be one of the most cursed. During the time that the movie was being shot, a number of the cast members and crew members claimed to have witnessed unexplainable happenings, such as lights flickering and things moving on their own without being touched. Strange noises were also reportedly heard emanating from the set by a number of the cast members and crew members. Even more disturbing was the fact that a number of the performers claimed to have felt the presence of another person in their respective dressing rooms. After the movie was released, a number of the performers who were engaged in the film passed away under inexplicable circumstances, prompting many people to conclude that there was some sort of supernatural element involved in their deaths. Number 6. Mysterious disappearances. Cast members and crew members have been known to vanish without a trace when filming horror movies, which is one of the most terrifying things that has ever occurred on a set for a horror movie. In 1976, when production was underway on The Omen, one such incident took place. A special effects technician by the name of John Richardson disappeared without a trace while filming the scene. It is unknown what happened to him after that, as no one ever saw or heard from him ever again, and his disappearance is still a mystery to this day. Another incident involves the actors and crew of The Exorcist, who claim to have seen mysterious individuals loitering around the set of the movie. Jack McGowan, one of the performers, even claimed that he had seen a ghostly figure in his dressing room. Jack McGowan was one of the actors. Number 5. Unfortunate accidents. Sadly, the sets of horror movies have also been known to be the locations of a number of unfortunate tragedies. A stuntman working on the set of The Omen passed away after being struck and killed by a car while he was doing a stunt for the movie. During the filming of Amityville Horror, another accident occurred when an actor was electrocuted while attempting to fix a broken light fixture. These incidents serve as a sobering reminder of how hazardous the work environment can be on the set of a horror film. Number 4. Unexplained phenomena. During the production of The Shining, a number of cast members and crew members claimed to have seen peculiar creatures lurking in the background of various shots. They also claimed to have felt a presence in particular places of the set and heard unusual noises originating from vacant rooms. The mysterious occurrences that took place on site only served to heighten the creepy mood that was already present there. Everyone who took part said that it was an extremely nerve-wracking event. It should come as no surprise that The Shining is regarded as one of the most terrifying movies ever made. Number 3. Unusual death. The sets of horror movies have also been known to be the locations of some peculiar deaths. One of the actors who was working on The Omen, for instance, passed away after being struck by lightning while standing outdoors during a thunderstorm while the movie was being filmed. Another actor was tragically taken from us during the making of The Exorcist when he suffered a broken neck after falling down a flight of stairs. Accidents are possible in any environment, regardless of how thoroughly it has been prepared for or how closely it is monitored. Number 2. Mysterious visitors. On the set of The Shining, several members of the crew said that they saw a ghostly apparition dressed in a tuxedo roaming around the set. On the set of the Amityville Horror, several members of the crew stated that they witnessed a ghostly apparition sitting in a rocking chair inside of one of the bedrooms. On the set of The Exorcist, several members of the crew stated that they saw a ghostly figure dressed in a white dress moving around the set. It was thought that these ghosts were spirits of the film's performers and characters who had come to see the set one last time. There was a ghostly and strange air about the place. The members of the crew were shaken to their cores but couldn't look away. Number 1. The Possession, 2012. Hollywood's blockbuster from 2012. Judaism, rabbis, and a cursed D-book box that becomes attached to a little girl are all components of the unique horror film The Possession. One of the film's performers, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, is no stranger to parts in supernatural media. After all, in Supernatural, he portrayed the role of the dad. While filming The Possession, however, Mr. Morgan experienced some disturbing incidents that left him feeling apprehensive. Lights went out by themselves, and cold winds blew through closed sets for no apparent reason. The scariest thing, though, was when the warehouse caught fire and was completely destroyed. Arson and electrical malfunction were ruled out as possible causes of the fire. Where did the spark come from then? Investigators concluded that the cause was undetermined. However, the D-book box scene in the film was unfortunately lost in the blaze. Actors and crew members eventually said no when the movie makers asked to replace the D-book box, out of concern that doing so would release the box's evil spirit.